Good morning, guys. This is going to be a three-part video. So this for the different forms of the quadratic formula, or quadratic form, not formula. That's coming up later. So what we're going to be doing, trying to get this down, so it doesn't want to work. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be working on vertex form. And if you think back to last week, we did absolute values. And if you look at the vertex form here on the right, it looks very similar to what we did on absolute values. Let me see if I can get it bigger. It looks very, very similar, except this time it has parentheses instead of absolute values and a square. But nothing else is different. Nothing else is different at all. Okay. So vertex form is going to be f of x or y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. Now, this form tells us a few things. First thing, the a is going to tell us if it opens up or down. If the a is positive, it's going to open up. If it's negative, it's going to open down. It's also going to tell us if it's going to be wide or thin. If it's wide, usually this one's going to be a fraction or a number less than 1, okay? So this one's going to be less than 1. And, whoops, less than. Nope, that's not right. Sorry. Me writing it, sometimes not always the greatest. Oops. Okay. It's going to be less than 1 or a fraction usually. If it's narrow, it's going to be bigger than 1. Okay? Hopefully you guys have that on your worksheet too. Now the other thing is it's going to give us our vertex. Our vertex is going to be HK, where H is going to be your opposite sign. That's all it is. You take the number, just switch the sign. We've done this before. All right, so one example we're going to do is going to be f of x equals 2x plus 4 squared minus 3. And just looking at that equation, what does it tell us? We're not going to graph it at all, but just by looking at it, what can we tell? So the first thing we know is that 2, it's positive. So we know it's going to open up. We also know 2 is bigger than 1, so it's going to be very thin or narrow. The other thing it tells us is its vertex. And that's going to tell us, so our vertex, we're taking that 4, but we're going to do the opposite sign to it. And the 3, negative 3, we're just going to keep it as it is. And if we had to graph it, we don't have to right now. If we had to graph it, we know at negative 4, negative 3 opens up, and it's going to be very thin. And that's supposed to be curved, but okay. So we have an idea of what we're doing. Not so bad. And that's vertex form. Not too hard, huh? And we will get to the rest of it later. So rest of it, we will change it from one form to another. And when we have to change it from one form to the other, we are going to use Desmos on that one, but we're going to save that for another day. So hopefully you guys got it. Good.